They say if a black cat crosses your path, then you're bound to have bad luck. Maybe if you shatter a mirror, if you walk under a ladder, bad luck comes your way as well. What exactly do you do when there is a curse in your life? On one hand, we have potentially a car being cursed. On another hand, we have a man with a cursed middle name. We're going to learn a lot more about this, you and me.
So when we were pulling into the Waterloo outlets, there was 2 lanes, a left turn only lane and a right turn only lane, and the FedEx truck was in the left turn only lane, my car was in the right turn only lane. I was taking my right hand turn, and then the FedEx truck also took the right hand turn and drove over my car. And he bent in the A-frame and he ripped the front part of the car completely off, and he shredded our tire. We were driving home on a snowy night on the 90, and we were going straight, and the car buckled right, and when I tried to swerve back onto the road, it spun out and we landed on the opposite side of the highway onto the guardrail. Another really snowy, slippery day. Driving down one of the straightaways to my house, and this man was pulling out of his driveway in his van, and he was pulling straight out so he could see me. And as I was trying to stop my car after he pulled fully out into the street, I slammed on the brakes, slid into the slush, and into the side of his car. Out of all the cars I've had, this car, I've never been in more accidents as frequent as since I've driven this car. So if curses are real, I would say yes, this car is cursed, because all the accidents that have happened have been so random.
They're like the span of a year, isn't it?
The two.
Like about a year or
yeah,
2
it's like
years.
a year and a half between all the accidents.
Something to take note of here is that I'm actually Megan's brother, and I'm a car guy, so I had to take this stuff apart to figure out exactly what was going on in the front end of it. Now, as for the passenger side front, I found right here the support was dented in completely. Now, this was a pre-existing condition for the car that we didn't really know about until I finally took this apart. So the car has actually been in 4 accidents while only being on the road for around 64,000 miles. That's a little bit unlucky, wouldn't you think?
So this is Jack Hilt. He's my great uncle. He fought in the Army's Big Red One during World War II, and he is the most recent casualty of the Hilt family curse. We've traced the curse back to the second crusade, I want to say. It's either the first or the second, but either way, long time ago. We figured out that pretty much all the members of the family have died in really horrific ways, usually involving war. So, like, for example, during the crusade, we traced it back to this small family of Hilts, which back then the name was spelled H-I-L-D, which that's interesting as well, because in order to get away from the curse, when they came to America, they actually changed the name to a T. It didn't work. We traced it back to sort of an area of France that was far away from any like feudal kingdoms and stuff, so they were singled out, and it seemed a little strange that they so far away they were singled out and taken to the main capital and burned. We sort of found that on and on and on, all these Hilts were just killed and drowned and you know, all sorts of things like that, until we got to the most recent one, which is my great uncle Jack Hilt. So he received the Bronze Star here for bravery. He received it 3 times. That's what these other pins here mean. One of those times was actually for his second Purple Heart. He received 3 of them, and the first one was when he got shot in the leg. a few years before, and he got the second one on the last year of his service, and actually the last year of his life as well. He was in a foxhole, and a mortar shell hit his leg and crippled him. 2 days later, he was in an ambulance, and he was driving back, and another mortar shell hit the ambulance, and this one actually went off and destroyed the ambulance, killing both the driver and himself, and received the 3rd Purple Heart for that one. Jack Hilt was the last casualty of the curse so far. I got interested in why my middle name was Curse because my dad mentioned it to me at once. He laughed and said that it was part of the curse. My name might be Christopher Barry, but my middle name is Hilt. My mom named me that when I was born in remembrance of Jack Hilt. I am the last surviving member of the Hilt family. It's only a matter of time before the curse takes me.
Whether or not these curses are actually real, everybody has to play the hand that they're dealt in life, and sometimes it is easier just to blame bad luck on being cursed.